Good Monday morning, everybody. It is officially your triple shot of good vibes. Welcome to Project Joy Live. We're here with you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Super excited to be with you as always today. You can see I got all kinds of. My desk needs to be cleaned off, everybody. It's Monday. What I need to do is make it a point to get my desk reorganized and cleaned up on Sundays, but that's another conversation, everybody. That brings us into things that don't bring me a lot of joy. So we're not going to talk about it today. Coming up later on in the show, I have a special co-host today, Teresa Warren from Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. One of our shows here on the Breakthrough Show Network is here with us today. And she's going to tell us what's next for Spirit Sessions in Q2 of 2026. They have some amazing series coming up, lots to talk about. So we'll be talking about that in a few minutes here. I do have some breaking news for you in just a moment. But yeah, I have to tell you yesterday, this is a very bittersweet joy. I was on Spirit Sessions yesterday, because it was the 10th anniversary of the terror attacks in Brussels, Belgium. And because of those terror attacks, my good friend Dorothy Auger wrote the For Love poem and went on, went on to be translated in over 70 languages. And I was helping her compile video versions of that poem. And then, unfortunately, Dorothy passed away in October of 2022. And so yesterday was the 10th anniversary. And so today is actually the anniversary of when she wrote the poem, which is so we're going to listen to that in a little bit. But after I was on the show, my girls wanted to go over to the mall. Now, Danielle and I did a whole show about this a few Fridays ago, where we talked about mall culture in America and if it's dying off. And there's been, since I moved back here to the county where I grew up in, there's been a lot of chatter as to whether or not the mall that was a staple of my childhood was going to stay open or not. And it went back and forth. You know, people slowly were pulling out. They changed hands. Somebody else bought it. And nobody really knew what was going to go on with the mall. And every time I would go in there, I remember the first time I went in there when I moved back home, and a lot of like the big name stores were gone. It used to have like Sears, J.C. Penney's, Macy's, like a lot of the big, I remember, I think Filene's used to be in there. Like there was all of the big name stores. None of the big name stores were open anymore. I think the only one that was open was J.C. Penney's when we first got here. And then that finally closed as well. And so all the stores were pulling out, the restaurants were pulling out. I think there was 2 open left when we were over there. But at any rate, yesterday was the official last day open for the mall. And so we went over there, we walked, I took some pictures with the family. I've got those for you. I took some pictures and video. I'm going to show them to you next time Danielle is on the show, because that was her childhood mall too. And so it was just hard, because with everything that I've been dealing with here since moving back home in 2022, and I've said this to other people, it feels like the Connecticut that I once knew is non-existent. And that's a really tough thing to come home to, because you think you're coming home to one thing and then realize, oh my God, what has happened? And I say all that to say, we know that the only thing that's guaranteed in this life is change. We know that things are going to change at one time or another. That, for me, that's the only thing that I know to be true about this life, is that things are going to change. That knowing, though, doesn't lessen the blow, right? It doesn't make it feel warm and fuzzy when we're going through the change, just to know that. And so at any rate, the girls wanted to go to Hot Topic. So if you guys know, when you go to Hot Topic or any of like the little stores like that, that they have t-shirts you could buy, and above the t-shirts on the wall, they would have like posters and stuff that would tell you what the shirt looks like when you have it on. So I got a couple of those. They had all of those. I got some. I had to go with the 90s stuff, you guys. I got TLC here. TLC World Tour, Crazy Sexy Cool. And then I also got, because you have to, I got a Tupac. I got Tupac, you guys can see. Love that as well. So I got Tupac, and then I got some other ones for my girls. They like wanted Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that. And I'm very excited. Danielle doesn't even know yet. Danielle doesn't even know yet, but I got a couple things for us to do on the show when she comes on. I got us each one of these blind box pins from Warner Brothers, and so you could get Gizmo, Annabelle. I think these are all like horror movie ones, but a lot of them are from in our time. Gizmo, Annabelle, Pennywise, Beetlejuice, The Exorcist, and The Nun. So you could get one of those. So I got us each one of those to open, and I got us each one of these to open. You all know how I feel about Care Bears and strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake lanyard with card and charms. These are little blind bags too. So me and Danielle will open those on a future show. Stay tuned. But they had obviously everything on the store in the store was on sale. They had hardly anything left though. I'll tell you that much. And so I picked up those couple things, and we took some pictures with the Waterford crystal chandelier and, you know, some of the things that I'll never forget. And I'm really trying to not get misty here on the show this morning because I was a whole mess yesterday. So all of that being said, there's, you know, a lot of changes happening, but what is the beauty in change is that we get to choose again. We get to decide what will our life look like once when we're through the change or even during the change process. Really quick here, Miss Sang D is joining us this morning. Happy, splendid Monday. A joy to be here today. It is going to be a fabulous day. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, Sears and JC Penney's for the family portraits for the win. Yes. 100%. That was a place to go. And they were so cheap. Like I went I went with a boyfriend in like back, I think it was I don't know, around junior year or something like that. And got photos with him because it was so cheap at Penny's. You get like would have like the coupons like $9.99. You could get 500 portraits. Nobody needed a portrait of me and my boyfriend. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. Nobody needed that, but I thought it was the best thing ever at the time. And yes, I still have it. So there's that. And yes, my husband has seen it as well. Yes, we love some TLC also. Before we bring Teresa on the show, I've got some breaking news for you here this morning as we continue this conversation and watch about the legislative session here in the state of Connecticut. All right, everybody. So our attorney, Deborah G. Stevenson from the National Home Education Legal Defense has issued a statement yesterday. Obviously, some of you guys have been following what has been going on here in Connecticut with Bill HB 5468 as well as Senate Bill 6. And those are all having to do with legislating home education. So this statement is from our attorney for homeschooling here in the state of Connecticut, Deborah Stevenson. She said this issue has been around for years, but it raised its ugly head again last week during a vote by the Education Committee on HB 5468. That is the now 21-page bill that places all sorts of new restrictions on parents who withdraw their children from public school. It has been called the Homeschoolers Bill. It is the one that requires an automatic referral to DCF of anyone withdrawing their child from public school and DCF approval to actually leave the public school. Much more is involved with that bill in terms of regulation of parents, but the above suffices to identify it. Thousands of parents came out in opposition to that bill in person at a public hearing and by submitting written testimony for that hearing. Less than 50 people came out in favor of it. Even the state education commissioner opposed it, saying certain sharing of data provisions violate federal law, while the DCF commissioner said it was impossible to administer, and many superintendents said it was too much for them to handle. Last week, that bill came up for a vote by members of the legislature's Education Committee. They debated it back and forth before the vote, which was good. Then the voice vote was taken by the members in attendance. Surprisingly, the majority voted against the bill, meaning it was killed in committee and would go no further. However, the time for voting was left open for an hour to allow any members who were not in attendance to cast their vote also. What happened in that hour or so is what is disturbing. When the clerk released the paper document upon which she checks the votes of each member in the appropriate columns, either in favor or opposed to the bill, something was glaringly apparent. It could be seen that at least 4 of the committee members who originally voted no to the bill at some point during that hour or so apparently changed their vote to yes. This was evident on that paper sheet because you can see where someone had used whiteout to eradicate the no vote in order to change the vote to yes. Why is this important? Because when the vote was first taken before the vote switching, it meant that the no votes won. The bill was killed. After that hour or so, those 4 no votes having been changed to yes meant that the bill survived. Lots of questions remain about what happened in that hour or so, and NHELD wants answers. The public wants and deserves answers. For example, were those 4 legislators coerced into changing their vote against their will? If so, who coerced them and why? How were they coerced? Did the leadership or anyone coerce them by telling them that consequences would result if they didn't change their vote? Did they tell any of the 4 members that they would lose any perks they already had if they did not change their vote? Did they tell any of the 4 that they would not be supported by leadership in their re-election bid? Just exactly how and why did the 4 members change their vote? It is imperative to know the answer to those and many other questions as well. If the 4 change their vote in good conscience of their own free will after contemplating the issue, we have absolutely no qualms about that. This is of their own choice and as it should be. However, if anyone coerced the 4 into changing their vote against their will by instilling in them a fear that some sort of official action of any kind would be taken against them as a result, that is a horse of a different color entirely. That is crossing the line. It is crossing the line into criminality. In fact, it is entirely against existing law. It is the very definition of the actual crime of coercion, the punishment for which is a fine, jail time, or both. That crime is listed in our penal code under 53A-192, and it states coercion, class a misdemeanor or a class D felony. A person is guilty of coercion when he compels or induces another person to engage in conduct which such other person has a legal right to abstain from engaging in, or to abstain from engaging in conduct in which such other person has a legal right to engage, by means of instilling in such a person a fear that if the demand is not complied with, the actor or another will commit any criminal offense, or accuse any person of a criminal offense, or expose any secret, take or withhold action as an official. So the question is, did that just happen in Connecticut again? We have heard in the past when other issues come up for vote by the legislature, some individuals have been threatened by leadership to vote on a bill in a certain way against their will when they had every legal right to vote their conscience. The leadership in those cases, we understand, apparently coerced those members by instilling in them the fear that if the demand was not met, they would take or withhold action as an official against the members or cause an official to take or withhold action against them, such as removing certain perks or jobs. If that apparently happened in the past, the question is, did that kind of coercion happen again just last week? If it did, we hope that the legislatures who were so coerced would be brave enough to come forward and let the public know. You do not deserve that kind of treatment. No one does. And that is precisely why we have the coercion statute on the books. The public is behind you, regardless of your party affiliation. Debating an issue with colleagues is one thing. Using this kind of pressure and coercion is quite another. If this is happening, it must be stopped. If this is happening, please blow the whistle on this kind of inappropriate behavior and let's get rid of it once and for all. That is from Deborah Stevenson from the National Home Education Legal Defense. And we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with Teresa from Spirit Sessions.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live, and welcome to Teresa Warren from Spirit Sessions. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. Woo-hoo.
Love it. I love it. I'm always happy to have you on, and it feels very present, but also nostalgic at the same time, because you and I go back such a long way in doing the shows and just being connected in general. So it's always good to have you here. How did you feel about your episode of Spirit Sessions yesterday when we did another reading, energetic reading of the poem?
Okay, so the energetic reading of the poem, this is what Katie Steinle does. And it's like a biofeedback thing in an app that she has. So we all read Dorothy's poem in unison, and which is always, when you hear all of our voices in our own pitches and our own language, it's a moving experience to hear it all like that. And this biofeedback app thing picks up the pictures and puts it out there for us, the colors and stuff. And the colors are always peaceful, loving, and communicating and stuff like that. And it's just so proud, it's like, oh yeah, that's what we do. That's what we spread, yeah. Right? So I feel we accomplished what we wanted.
Yeah, I love seeing Katie Steinle that comes on the show uses a sort of biofeedback kind of software to measure the energetics in the space. And so twice now we have read Dorothy's For Love poem, and seeing the feedback. And I can't wait for her to send me the image because I want to look at them side by side. The
Yeah.
first one that we did and this one. You can go to our room that we read the poem in every day and see the original image, and I'll put the new one in there when I get it from Katie. But it's so cool to hear what the colors mean, and also they all sort of have that shape to where it spreads out. Like you said, we kind of envision when we set the intentions and read the poem that they're spreading, across the world. And so I always love seeing the visual.
Did you
um,
notice that at the edges of the picture, it hit the blue realms, really, really
mm,
light blue? And she says that we were touching the angelic realms. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
yeah, that's
I
us.
love it. I love it. Good morning, Danielle. Good to see you here today. I was just talking about you a few minutes ago. I was showing gifts. I don't know if you saw them, but I got you some gifts yesterday. So we'll play around with those when you're on the show. At any rate, so Spirit Sessions has been around as long as the Breakthrough Show has been around. We started it the same year, and very similar to the Breakthrough Show. It has taken different shape over the years and had different people come and go, different topics, things like that. And so what let's start first with maybe a little overview. How did you feel about the first quarter of Spirit Sessions this year? What were some exciting moments for you the last couple of months?
Okay, the exciting. We're going with that one right
Yeah,
now.
we're going with the good things, not the stuff that happens in the background.
Okay, so you know what was really a surprise? This has to go back to your awards that you have. You
Mm,
know, the awards for the shows, and you invite our guests on. And one of our guests was so impressed that right after your awards show in December, she wrote me and wanted to come on again. And it ended up being enough topic. Well, let's divide it into two. And so this was Dr. Amber Wolf, who
mm,
I've always loved and admired, for so many years. And so that made me so proud that what you've built here, the community and everything, that people are going, oh yeah, I want to be on that and come in. And so my impression of the first quarter is, ooh, big things can happen if we just focus a little
mm.
or a lot.
Both a little and a lot. I mean, it doesn't it I think it really speaks to when you commit to showing up as your best self. And it does and your best self is not perfect. Like it's not we don't always get it right. We're human beings, and it is what it is. And so I think when you do have that commitment, though, that commitment to showing up as your best self, but then also through your brand, your work, your show that you do, whatever it is, that goes way further than perfection, just that commitment level. And so I think that people look in and go, they're doing something really amazing and I want to be a part of that.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
That's my message for everybody today. Just be committed to what you're doing, have passion for what you're doing, and people will see that and they'll be attracted to it. So as we look forward to the second quarter of 2026, what do we have in store for us on Spirit Sessions?
Well, there's the thing I'm so excited about. There's the days or the weekends between Earth Day and Mother's Day. And every year it goes by and it goes by, and I'm thinking something special should be happening at this time. I just know it. Okay, but I couldn't think of
Mm,
nothing. So finally I decided, well, I'm going to be bold and pick topics, because usually we have a guest on and whatever comes through according to the guest. But how about if I have them come on for a series of something I want them to talk about?
mm,
So I decided to call it the Divine Feminine Rising series. And I try to pick each weekend in between and have somebody really exciting on that could speak to that, because there's so much about the divine feminine. And I'm not just, oh, divine feminine only. I'm fine with a good equal balance, because I find that helps me everywhere in life. But still, there's different ways to bring it out. So this year's theme is the voice of the divine feminine unleashed. And
Mm,
so I've invited 4 speakers, and each of their shows, like one's at the beginning, and then the second, third, and fourth,
mm.
those are each positions. Opening, like almost like Mother Maid and Crone, except you add in Priestess in there. So that opened a whole new. So I have totally organized this compared to last year. And there's 3 main questions that I'm asking each of the speakers. And I'll read these to you guys. Even you can answer these, okay?
Oh,
First
okay.
question. When you think of unleashing the voice of the divine feminine, what comes up for you and how has this shaped your work? That's
Ooh.
question
When you
one.
when you think about read that one more time.
When you think about the unleashing of the voice of the divine feminine, what comes up for you and how has this shaped your work?
Mm. It's interesting with that question because I always, anytime I hear divine feminine, I think about my role as a mother. And that's where my brain goes immediately. And, it's with that question in particular, it's like, I like to think of a mother as like nurturing and compassionate and sweet, but sometimes we have to go, don't touch that, it's hot.
Yep.
So sometimes that I think it's the importance of using our voice as, in a feminine way, which doesn't always come across as hello and welcome to our show today. Sometimes it's got to be a little more forceful there, if you will. And so I think that for me, even as we talk about the topic in general, there are a lot of misconceptions about feminine energy. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
explore that as well. All right,
And
question.
the way they're
Go.
each doing it is coming through so beautifully. I'm like amazed. So,
Yeah.
okay, second question is to you. What's awakening in the divine feminine in 2026? And like
I think,
even in your case, I see you like kind of like activism a little bit more,
yeah.
in it.
That
What we
is that is the season that I'm in right now with in exploring, what it means to be feminine because I think we're in this world right now of very masculine push 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 go go go, like just constant, build and do and be, whereas with the feminine I feel like it's more of a being, like an embodiment. And
yes.
so I have to ask myself, like, what is the energy that I'm trying to embody right now, and leaning in a little bit more to that don't touch that, it's hot, kind of energy, that mothering, like really care about you, but I've got to be firm about this before you hurt yourself. you know so I'm leaning into that side of it right now for myself.
I love that. Okay, and the audience, yeah, Sang and Danielle and everybody, you guys can put down in the comments how you feel about these questions. The third
What
one,
is I just wanted to say really quick. Sang said, "What is awakening in 2026? More women are stepping into truth and sharing what we have been conditioned to silence."
yes, yes,
Love that.
boom, that's what I mean here.
Yes,
Don't that make your heart go boom, boom, boom?
it, it does. It's a good thing. And Danielle said, "Yes, the mother energy." That's where we go. That's where we go. Okay, question 3.
Okay, this is a fun one for everybody. What is one practice or one perspective that you recommend to help people embody the voice of the divine feminine in everyday life? Because there's
Just
those moments where we could pull it up, but what about every day?
I say look at a mother. Look, I mean, I go back to that. Look at what a mother is doing. There was a fantastic video that I saw the other day. I think it was Glenn Beck that was talking. Now you could take or leave him. I'm not talking about him, but he was talking about his wife, and she homeschooled her kids, and he was like, "You don't mess." But he said specifically, a homeschooling mother is not to be trifled with. is what he said.
Ooh,
And so there is this a mother has like all of these roles that that she has to play, And so I think if we look at that and look at like, okay, to examine the roles that we play in our lives, the energy that we are embodying at any given moment, and look at some of the misunderstandings, like I said, that we have of feminine energy. Feminine energy doesn't mean sit there prim and proper and quiet. That's not what that means. And
Wallflower.
so look at those things is important.
I've heard of the feminine compared to a bag of tea. It could be a
Mm,
nice, oh, that's so fragrant, but pour some hot water on it. What's it make for you? You know,
yeah,
and that's what's really in there.
right, right.
So I can
Saying
tell you what each of them are about. Go ahead. Let's hear Sing. Sorry.
saying said no, saying just said pause, 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 pause,
Ooh,
and think about the energy and how you're embodying it.
yeah, true saying. That's so important. There's in that moment of pause, there's so much reflection and things falling into place. In fact, couldn't that really be when the major part of any work and
Yeah.
enlightenment happens is in that pause?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, oh, Danielle said presence over pressure.
Oh, yeah,
Like that too. Like that
every
too.
minute. I love it.
Understanding how having compassion and connection are a bridge to relationships. And I love this too, like thinking about a bridge between things also, because I, I'm with you when you say, that there's like a good balance that needs to happen between the masculine and the feminine, right? And I think that even though we are in a very sort of driven masculine world, that we get to bring in more feminine energy. So it's not that I'm not convinced that let me see, how am I going to phrase this? I'm not convinced that we're going to shift out of this go 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 energy anytime soon. I think it's the way that the world is going right now. It doesn't mean we won't ever, but I don't think it's going to be soon. So then the question becomes, what energy do we want to embody while we're in it? And even though something's push, 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 go, 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 can we bring an element of softness to that? Can we bring, an element of flow? I was just talking to my daughter this morning about how I was sort of raised in a, if you're on time, you're late. You need to be early, be punctual. Like that's important. And we still have to, that's the thing, is I think sometimes we can go too far into going, well, I'm just going to embody all the feminine, but that's not an effort to sort of be in the world at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we can be soft and understanding. We can bring understanding to that idea of punctuality. We could bring compassion to the idea of punctuality. But I'm over here like, you still need to be on time. You still need to be on time. We can be understanding about it, and that's important, but we still need to be on time.
I love that. I think
So,
I'm out of sync a little bit.
yeah, it's okay. It's all right. So what are some of the things that you're going to be looking at through this series? Is there anything else you want to share about it?
Yeah, I can tell you guys a little bit about each one. Part one is on April 19th, and we have Carolani from Trigong, is what she always taught us. And she's showing us about, creativity is not a luxury. It's a basic human need and one of the most direct pathways to embody the divine feminine. And when your voice has been suppressed for years, expression can be distant or even intimidating, but never truly lost. So those are some of the points that she's going to bring through in there. And on April 26th, we got Dr. Amber Wolf bringing through the mother energy, because she brings through the star mothers. And she just finished a book about we are the next Lemuria. And she wrote a section in it about the magnetic blueprint of the divine feminine. And so there's going to be a meditation and an activation with that. And then we pull cards for Taurus and celebrate Taurus with a divine feminine twist on May 3rd. And then May 10th, we've got Light Star, who everyone, I love Light Star, and she is such a creatrix. And she's bringing through the priestess energy with the divine feminine priestess energy and light language activation. Don't want to miss that. I'm so excited for this. And then we're closing the series with Laura Hofsford, who's bringing in the truth and transformation energy. It's the closing of it. So it'll speak of transformation and spiritual mastery. And we have a party after that show, right, Jessica? I'm telling everybody that we're having a party at the Breakthrough Show Network with complete with swag bag, and it's going to be fun. So
it's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're so excited for all that Spirit Sessions is going to bring to the Breakthrough Show Network in the second quarter of 2026, including the Divine Feminine series. Can you give us the title one more time, Teresa, that you've titled the entire series?
The Divine Feminine. Okay. The Voice of the Divine Feminine Unleashed.
There it is. The Voice of the Divine Feminine Unleashed.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. All right. Since it is the 10th anniversary of Dorothy Auger's For Love poem, we're going to listen to that one time. And when we come back, we'll have birthdays. Are you going to stay with us for birthdays, Teresa?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live, everybody. Thanks for standing for love with us. And I'm so honored to have considered Dorothy one of my very good friends, and I think of her today on the 10th anniversary of her writing the For Love poem and Every Day. All right, Teresa, it's time for birthdays. You ready?
Woo-woo, let's do it.
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, everybody. In the world of celebrity today, actress Reese Witherspoon is 51 years old today. Legally Blonde, Sweet Home Alabama. She's been in a ton. I could go on forever. She's amazing. Actor William Shatner is 96 years old today, everybody. Happy birthday, William Shatner. Wow. Comedian and actor Keegan-Michael Key is 56 years old today. Happy birthday, Keegan-Michael. And then celebrity in my life, Tina Torres, has a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Miss Tina. And that's all I have for birthdays today. Do you have any birthdays you're celebrating today, Teresa?
Today is the birthday of my ex, who's Anthony's dad, and he's I think 63 or 64.
There you go. Happy birth. We're gonna just say happy birthday to, what's his name?
Tony.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tony.
Okay, got it. God, I feel like Tony is an ex name. Anyway, we're not gonna go there this morning. We're gonna keep it real, everybody, today. All right, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you.
Woo, woo.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo, woo.
Happy birthday, dear Reese Witherspoon, William Shatner, Keegan-Michael Key, Tina Torres, and all the exes of the world, Tony. Happy birthday to you. There. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. That was going to go down in the history books, everybody, for sure. For sure. Anything you would like to leave with the people today, Teresa?
Find the joy right here and spread it around. I love you all.
There it is. There it is. And I have a little PSA for you guys today. This is the other day, Sang's gonna laugh at this. We like to talk about spicy Mondays. Sometimes Mondays the last few weeks have been very spicy. It has brought out the cinnamon and cayenne pepper within all of us. Okay, it's a little spicy on Mondays. So in that spirit, I would like to say this. Not everything is for everybody, and because not everything is for everybody, you're not always going to not going to be able to go to everything. You're not going to be able to participate in everything. You're not always going to get a trophy or a badge. Sometimes there's other things for you. It doesn't have to be everything. And so if you are participating in something and let's just use an example, you lose your streak. Okay. You've been coming every day, and you lose your streak. Do not go ask the creator of the platform that you're on to reset your streak. Don't do that, because it's your own fault. It's your own fault. You didn't log in, and that's all I have to say about that. You do not get a badge. You do not get to pass go, collect $200. None of that. Okay, log in. I was prepared to log in from prison.
Oh, wow.
I had people lined up. Stop asking people to reset your streak. Okay, that's my spicy Monday. My spicy Monday disclaimer today. Do you have something spicy you could share today, Teresa? What's some spice you could throw on this today? I need to know. I don't know. No spicy, no spice from you today. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but it's fine. We're working through it. Do you have some spice that you could share today, Teresa?
I don't think in terms of spice. All I can say is, I wish the damn cat would stop waking me up in the morning. Is that spice?
That is spice. Okay, control your
Okay.
cats, people. Stop waking people up in the morning, cats. You hear what I'm saying out there? Last Monday, it was a ghost pepper Monday. It was a ghost pepper Monday. It was super spicy but I have a feeling this Monday is on track to also being maybe not ghost pepper, maybe a little jalapeno, something like that. But yes, it's the pussycat spice is what it is. It's what it is right there. Thanks for being here with me today, Teresa. It's always fun to have you on. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching or listening wherever you are in the world today. I'm Jessica Dugas, and this is Teresa Warren, aka T Dubs, and we want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.